الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد. Allah SWT says in the Quran, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. Or you have believed, have taqwa of Allah SWT according to His maqam, according to His greatness. Allah SWT is all wise, all-knowing, all-hearing, the creator of the heavens and the earth. To Him belong our souls, to Him we return. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is all-knowing. There's not a leaf that falls without His knowledge. There's not a womb that's conceived without His knowledge. Allah is closer to you than your jugular vein. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is haqiqatan, is the greatest. And that's why we say Allahu Akbar. So our taqwa is according to His greatness, according to His maqam. And Allah said, die not, set in the state of submission. And submission, when you look at the heaven and the earth, when you look at the sun and the moon, and the trees, and the birds, all the creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, from the electrons to atoms, they follow the guidance of Allah. They're following the laws of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because He's the one that gives you the best laws, the wisest laws, subhanAllah. If they're doing it, and they're doing a pretty good job, alhamdulillah, we as humanity, if there was somebody to come out, they're like, hey, I see chaos. What do we need? We need the guidance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in our lives. That's why we submit to Allah's laws, Allah's systems, Allah's guidance, His morals, His ethics. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. Or you have believed, have taqwa of Allah, and have a speech that's appropriate, it's upright, that is pleasing to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Be just. Speak the truth. What do we find today? Lots of backbiting. What do we find today? gossiping. What do we find today? SubhanAllah, slandering. May Allah protect us. We gotta have appropriate speech. If you don't have anything good to say, let's not say anything. And whoever does that, Allah will avenge your affairs and forgive your sins. And whoever obeys Allah and His Messenger has certainly attained the greatest achievement. SubhanAllah, I know everyone here has been watching news, and everyone here, your heart's about to drop as to what's happening in Gaza. And SubhanAllah, it's been some of the last almost 4 months. 4 months. You know, I cannot believe the state we're in right now. In the beginning, they're like, hey, you know, just move to the south, move to the south. Now you have almost 1.1 to 1.5 million people in one of the highest concentration. SubhanAllah. And many of us, we have no clue what's happening next. It's heart-wrenching, and wallahi, I don't want to describe some of the pictures. But I advise you, don't run away from those pictures. Why? Because you need to watch what's happening. Even show it to your children when they're 7, when they're 8, when they're 9. Because they see what's happening to us today. You need to build that memory. How do you build an identity as an ummah? You have a memory of the past. You know what happened to you. What's happening to you. You can't hide. We're not pigeons. We're not pigeons. We're not going to hide from the problems. We're going to confront them. We're going to face them. That's the right attitude. SubhanAllah. And today, when I see this, I was reflecting on narration. Because I feel when you see the horrendous situation, we're in a dire, urgent need of advice. SubhanAllah. Advice not only for yourself, for the communities, and for this ummah. And who is better? You know, when you're seeking advice today, people go to the professionals. I want to go to the physician for my health advice. I want to go to the financial expert to see what I want to do with my money. I want to go to the doc, whatever. Today, the advice I'm going to give you, this is not even from the Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This is advice from the Jibraeel alayhi salam to the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam and to this ummah. 5 pieces of advices that you can't miss. Think about it, zone in, inshallah. I want to relate this back, how this, if you follow these advices, we're going to transform ourselves. We're going to become stronger people, resilient people that can live for the sake of Allah. What's the first advice? And this is a narration, by the way, which is by Shaykh al-Bani, rahmatullahi alayhi. He says, Hasan. And it's in Al-Mu'jam Al-Awsad Al-Tabarani, for the reference. I'm not going to give you the whole narration. I'm going to keep it surprise, one by one, okay? Advice number 1. Jibraeel says to Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Ya Muhammadu, ish ma shi'ta fa innaka mayyit. Meaning, live as you wish. Live as you wish, for you'll die. Live as you wish, for you'll die. Because he's saying, you know, you have a free choice. Every human being has a choice if they want to live by Allah's guidance or they want to live by based on their desires. However, do remember, whether it's 50, whether it's 60, or 70, or 80, you are going to face the inevitable death. People today, they can deny their resurrection. They may even deny Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They may even deny the hereafter. But one thing they can't deny is al-maut. It's inevitable. But you know what's interesting? Ironically, there was research done by the University of Israel. What they found, most people are in denial that death will happen to you. To you. They're not thinking about themselves. They're always thinking about somebody else, which allows you to just live. You know, it's okay, it's not for me. Come on, the death is for somebody else. Subhanallah. But we know that it's something you can't run away from. Subhanallah. And the Rasul said in the narration, remember often the destroyers of pleasures, which is death. Which is death. When you remember death, then you're like, oh, subhanAllah, man, like, I have a short life. I need to make it count. So number one advice from Rasul, live as you wish, you will die. Relating to this, what did Rasul say next? He says, وَأَعْمَلْ مَا شِئْتَ فَإِنَّكَ مَجْزِيٌّ بِهِ. Meaning, work as you wish. Work as you wish. For you will be repaid accordingly. For you will be repaid accordingly. Meaning, whatever you put forth in the dunya, you will see it, you will harvest that on the Day of Judgment. If you're going to be like, subhanAllah, many of us, oh, we're not willing to sacrifice sleep for Allah. We're not willing to sacrifice our money for Allah. And most importantly, we're not willing to sacrifice our time. We got a busy schedule. I got this, I got soccer, I got basketball, I got to go watch this Netflix show, maybe work out for 2 hours. But when it comes to Allah's deen, subhanAllah, brother, I'm very busy. I'm busy, man, I'm busy. I can't help with the community. I can't help out on this project because I got like 50 things going on. Remember those ayats of Allah says what? فَمَنْ يَعْمَلْ مِثْقَالَ ذَرَّةٍ خَيْرًا يَرَهُ وَمَنْ يَعْمَلْ مِثْقَالَ ذَرَّةٍ شَرًّا يَرَهُ. Meaning, on that day, whoever does an atom's weight of good will see it, and whoever does an atom weight of evil will see it. So you, when you stand before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, everything you've done, you know the record, there's an ayah that talks about, this book has missed nothing. This book has missed nothing. And there are many other ayats in the Quran. One of them, one of my favorite ones, it says, يَوْمَ يَتَذَكَّرُ الْإِنسَانُ مَا سَعَى. On that day, the man will remember what he's earned. SubhanAllah. So what's the second advice? Work as you wish, for you will be repaid accordingly. First is death, second is your deeds. What's the third advice? It says, وَحْبِبْ مَنْ شَئْتَ فَإِنَّكَ مُفَارِقٌ. Meaning, love whomsoever you wish, you will be separated. It doesn't matter what you love. It could be your spouses, it could be your friends, your family, whatever, your celebrity, whatever, it doesn't matter. Whoever you love, you will be separated, or they will be separated from you. This is the reality of life. Have you thought of it from this perspective? Because think about that, but what's the relationship with doing good deeds? What holds you back? What holds you back in many cases? Is a love relationship. Or you know what, I need to spend 4 nights of the 7 nights with my spouse, otherwise she won't be very happy. Or you know what, I need to spend like 10 hours with my children every week or 15 hours. Why can't you just take 2 out? Why can't you take 3 hours out? SubhanAllah. Because either you're going to leave your children or they're going to leave you. SubhanAllah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, الْمَالُ وَالْبَنُونَ زِينَةُ الْحَيَاةِ الدُّنْيَا وَالْبَاقِيَاتُ الصَّالِحَاتُ خَيْرٌ عِنْدَ رَبِّكَ ثُوَابًا وَخَيْرٌ أَمَلًا. Wealth and children are adornment of the worldly life, but the enduring deeds are better for you and better for you, better for your Lord in the sight of your Lord, and better for one's hope. Meaning, unfortunately, sometimes our love is for the wrong things. I'm not saying it's wrong to like love your spouse and your family, you should, but your number one love is what? Your love of good deeds. Who here, their number one love is Allah and the good deeds? If the good deeds are not beloved to you, imagine the Sahaba. They didn't look at life based on like, hey, you know, the dunya and the pain. They always looked at life, what can I get on the Day of Judgment? They're always thinking about that. Okay, I need to go to jihad, but I'm going to go. Because I want to go to Jannah. Whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. They're competing for good deeds. فَلْيَتَنَافِسِ الْمُتَنَافِسُونَ. And we know on the Day of Judgment, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, يَوْمَ يَفِرُّ. What's the ayah? On that day you will be fleeing from your children, from your mothers, your spouses, anybody that you love. Because on that day, the only thing matters is, what have you done? And what I always tell my students, the best test for you is to put yourself in the position of on the day of judgment, the way you live every single day. Because on that day, if you're willing to run far away from your family and your friend and whoever you love, then today, if they're holding you back on a condition, if they're holding you back from Allah, if they're holding you back from good deeds, if they're holding you back from serving Allah's deen, they're not your friends. They're not your true family. SubhanAllah. This is how you look at life. What's the fourth advice? SubhanAllah. The fourth advice is, وَاعْلَمْ أَنَّ شَرَفَ الْمُؤْمِنِ قِيَامُ اللَّيْلِ. You see, most of us, when we're thinking about honor, what are we doing? We're thinking about having more money, having a better job, bigger business, maybe like a couple of spouses, maybe 15 children, whatever. People are competing in the dunya. And they think that their honor is based on how much dunya they get. But this is not the advice that Jibraeel is giving to Rasulullah, and it's not the advice he's giving to you. He said, your honor is what? Is Qiyamul Layl. Is you getting up in the middle of the night, when Allah is waiting for you, and you're praying your 2 rakahs or 4, 6, 8, being sincere and crying before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this is your honor. Because who is the closest to Allah? The one who has most taqwa. And how do you have most taqwa? And one of the best ways to show taqwa is when you get up at night for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now obviously there are many ayats. The famous one is from Azan. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, I'll just give you a little bit. It says, أَوْزِدْ عَلَيْهِ وَرَتِّلِ الْقُرْآنَ تَرْتِيلًا إِنَّ سَنُلْقِي عَلَيْكَ قَوْلًا ثَقِيلًا إِنَّ نَاشِيَةَ اللَّيْلِ هِيَ أَشَدُّ وَطْعًا وَأَقْوَمُ قِيلًا. Saying, or added to, and recite the Quran in a beautiful recitation, in a very slow, giving haqq to every letter. Why? Because you have a heavy message. We're about to give you a heavy message. And now you're thinking, hey, this is the ayat, these are the ayats coming to the Rasul in the very beginning. In the very beginning. What is the heavy message is he giving you? What is the heavy message? Is the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Is the responsibility that comes with the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's the heavy message. So advice number 4. What's the last one? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَعِزَّهُ اسْتِغْنَاهُ عَنِ النَّاسِ. He says, and your honor as a person is in the person's honors in his independence of the people. Meaning, the upper hand is better than the lower hand. SubhanAllah. There's another narration. So meaning, each person here, when we look at today, like I've been looking for jobs lately, and the market is very dry. It's a very dry market. And SubhanAllah, when I'm thinking about the Muslims, I've spoken lots of, like my brother-in-law says, some of the brothers in the UK, they are also a very, very bad market for jobs. You as a person, you don't feel independent. Not because you have to chase and beg for jobs. If we as a community have not become independent, we as people have not become independent where we have our own businesses. Why can't we have our own businesses? Everybody got their back. You got your businesses, someone's looking for a job, hey bro, I got you hooked up, no problem. We're not working like that. We're not working like that. SubhanAllah. But I want to relate this back to my earlier, when I opened the khutbah. See, if you think about the independence of the person, think about the independence as a nation. Today, when we're looking at what's happening in Gaza, when we're looking at our brothers, what are we trying to do? Every other day, and all my Buster brothers are working on this, I see petitions. We're literally begging. Begging to the MPs, can you please stop the war. Ceasefire, please. We're begging every day. Wallahi, is this the dignity of the Ummah? Is this the izzah of this Ummah? That you have to beg to the kuffar and the enemies of Islam who are behind this in the first place? Can you please stop the war? Can you please stop it? Wallahi, this is the Rasul didn't leave us to be in this state. And this is a very beautiful ayah. Allah talks about it. It's الَّذِينَ يَتَّخِذُونَ الْكَافِرِينَ أَوْلِيَاءَ مِن دُونِ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ أَيَبْتَغُونَ عِندَهُمُ الْعِزَّةَ فَإِنَّ الْعِزَّةَ لِلَّهِ جَمِيعًا. Meaning, for those who take disbelievers as allies other than the believers, do you seek honor? Do you seek izzah and power through that company? And remember, surely, absolutely, 100%, undoubtedly, the izzah belongs to Allah Jal Jalaluhu. The izzah belongs to the Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and the believers. Where is our izzah? When we're seeking the izzah and dignity from other than Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. So what that means, there's something we're not doing right here. There's something we're not doing right. SubhanAllah. May Allah grant this ummah izzah. Ameen ya Rabb. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow us to live by these 5 very beautiful advices from Jibraeel alayhi salam to the Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and to us. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Ramadan's coming, the month of Sha'ban, is a month of fasting before Ramadan. Rasul used to fast in this month the most after Ramadan. And subhanAllah, and Rasul used to say, my deeds go up in this month, and I want my deeds to be going up in the blessed and in the state of fasting. So we need to keep these advices in mind. So we were thinking about it. So we were ready, because Ramadan is a month of where the hearts are soft. We're more willing to change our lives. We're more willing to mold our lives. So let's mold our life based on the advice that we get from the Rasulullah from Jibraeel alayhi salam. So when we're in Ramadan, we're kicking, we're moving. Subhanallah. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم المسلمين فاستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. Bismillah, alhamdulillah, as-salatu was-salamu ala rasulillah. So just to recap. So there are 5 advices. Don't forget them. I will ask you after the khutbah. Yeah? What's number 1? Number 1 is, you will die. It's talk about death. So you need to understand, al-maut is around the corner. Kullu nafsin dha'iqat al-maut. Number 2, which is related, is your deeds. Whatever you put in, you'll find on the Day of Judgment. Number 3 is understanding whatever you love in the dunya, either you'll be separated from it, or that will be separated from you. We love the thing that will not be separated from, which are the good deeds. And number 4 is spoke about the honor of this ummah. Your honor is not your monies. It's not your wealth. It's not your positions. It's not your businesses. Is you able to get up at night and meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Qiyam. And finally, we spoke about the independence. We say independence of the person, meaning the upper hand is better than the lower hand. Meaning there's a very beautiful narration. I didn't say the whole thing. It says, it is better for one amongst you to bring a load of firewood on his back and give charity out of it and be independent of people. That he should beg from people, whether they give him anything or refuse it. Verily the upper hand is better than the lower hand. SubhanAllah. And begin charity with the dependents. And I related this back to us, not only from an individual perspective, because we understand individually, but also as a community, as an ummah. When we see what's happening in Gaza, because we are not independent. Egypt is not an independent nation. Syria is not an independent nation. Jordan is not an independent nation. Saudi Arabia is not an independent nation. If they were independent nations, if they had izzah in their hearts, if they had dignity in their minds and hearts and minds, they would be standing up for their brothers and sisters. They would be standing up. SubhanAllah. There was a story, they said, they're hashish dealers in Morocco. They're dealing drugs. You know what they said? We're going to stop dealing drugs with the people in Israel. Why? They have a red line. They have a red line that the Ummah does not have a red line. They have a red line that our leaders do not have a red line. Can you imagine? You think of them as low life. You think of them as people who are like working in the streets and selling drugs. And they're like, we're not dealing with that. And they're losing money. They're taking the hit for the sake of Allah. They're taking the hit for the sake of their dignity. But our leaders, they got no dignity. They sold themselves, not to Allah, but to other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That doesn't mean we sit and watch. That doesn't mean we sit and watch. What that means is, we go back to work. If Salahuddin Ayyubi didn't work hard, and Nuruddin Zingi didn't work hard, or Imran bin Zingi didn't work hard, you wouldn't have the Jerusalem back 800 years ago. They went to work for the sake of Allah. And today, I'm not here to put you down. I'll put this ummah down. Rather, I'm here to lift you. Lift myself and lift you so we can become a stronger and an independent ummah. I hope you're with me. I hope you're with me. So what are the steps there? Number one, Ramadan's coming. And I want you to make a sincere intention before you leave here. That you want to dedicate yourself, your life, and your energies to see how can I make this, my ummah, my community independent. You should have a chat, you should speak to me, speak to the brothers here, say what can we do? Because why? The power is in the jama'ah. Power is in working together. Don't work by yourself. Don't work by yourself. The people who are controlling the world, they're working together. So we were like, hey, I want to just do my thing. Number two, you need to gain knowledge and awareness of what's happening in the world. And you cannot do that without an organized program. I'm going to have a special announcement after this in the Jummah, inshallah, so you can become an aware Muslim. You can have a mindset. You can be a person that's a visionary for the ummah. And finally, it's a month of Shaban. I'm committing myself to fast as much as I can. You should do the same, inshallah, so you can take advantage and prepare yourself for the month of Ramadan. May Allah guide us in the straight path that is pleasing to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah allow us to take advantage of the advice that Jibraeel alayhi salam gave to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And may Allah allow us to become an independent ummah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us of those that are serving and living for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala day in and day out. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us those that will be the brothers of the Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam on the day of judgment. And may Allah make us of those that work for unity day in and day out. Ameen ya Rabb. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us of those that will be forgiven by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that will be pardoned. And may Allah make us of those that the day of judgment is our best day. And our last moments on this planet Earth are our best moments. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make our progeny and our communities and our ummah upon la ilaha illallah. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala unite us upon la ilaha illallah. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow us to drink from the hands of the Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam on the day of judgment. Ameen ya Rabb. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us a strong, formidable, united ummah. that can fend itself and defend itself from the enemies of Islam. Amin ya Rabb. عباد الله إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون. وأقم الصلاة.